What's going on, guys? JFC here. I today wanted to talk about, I think FIFA 23 has a problem. And I want to talk pretty in depth about that today, about what the problem is and why I think EA have the game this way. And I want to talk about the gameplay itself today too. So yeah, I'd say the first thing I want to talk about today, I think the biggest problem, I shouldn't say the biggest, I should say maybe one of the biggest problems right now in FIFA is these game modes that we have are just not good. The mixture of FUT champs, division rivals, squad battles, and the new moments game mode. You can add in friendlies and draft to this too. These competitive game modes all meshed together, blended together. It's just not a good combo. And it allows for some of the most toxic gameplay experience you'll ever see in a video game. Every single thing in this game is catered toward wins. You have to win everything in this game, no matter what. Otherwise, you don't get rewarded for anything. This is why the division rivals changed, where they had it so you can't get relegated. I didn't mind, actually, because I could lose and not go down a ton of spots. Because for me, if you're in above, it really doesn't even matter what division you're in, because whatever division you're in is how good you are at the game, or around that. You can't go into division rivals using a fun team. If you plan on trying to succeed, you can't do it. If I went into division rivals right now and I wanted to go and use my non-sweat team, I wanted to go and use an American team, right? I wanted to go and use a full Brazilian squad, a full Liga NOS squad, right? Something like that. I pretty much can't. I can't do it. There's no game mode in this game other than friendlies. And if what would I have to go and play? I'd probably have to go and play what? The classic match friendly, which is anybody even playing this? There's also not really any reward for playing this at all. You gain basically nothing other than like the milestone rewards, which is another thing we'll talk about here in a little bit. Now, people would say back to that is that, okay, well, you can still use those teams and go hop into these games. They're just probably not going to be as good of players, which is fine. I'm totally fine with them not being as good. I'm not a huge fan of having 75 rated common golds as good as Hullet. That's how sometimes we used to have it in FIFA 15, 14. That wasn't that fun. Honestly, I want there to be a little bit of a difference there, but you have to win. Everything is wins in this game. I need to get 8 wins to get my rewards. It's not matches played. It's not other objectives that they could add. There's unlimited things that they could do to help you get rewards without having to win every single game you play of FIFA. That's how they set this game up. And I think they do that because if you have to win every single game of FIFA and you're not winning games, what are you gonna do? Well, some people are just gonna hop right into the store and say, I need a better team. I need to spend money on the game. If they have a game catered to just enjoying the experience, and whether you win or lose, you still get rewarded. Obviously, if you win, you get a little more rewarded, but you still get rewarded if you lose. They're terrified that they're not gonna hop in the store after they rage lose a game, sell their team, and open FIFA points. So I think that's why they have this game catered that way, to where you have to win everything. The only thing in this entire game where you don't have to win is like the milestones, which still are mostly wins. Like the co-op play thing was just like, play a certain amount of games. And it's funny because these rewards actually aren't great, but there's still something, right? There's still something for just playing, which we need more of. Why does FIFA have one of those toxic communities? Why is that? Because everything in this game is catered to winning. You have to win no matter what. Imagine you played COD, and to level up your guns, you had to win the match. Could you imagine that? That's to the kind of level of just upgrades and rewards that we have for winning games and not for just playing in them. The finishing mastery stuff, this stuff you just earn from playing games, right? Not necessarily from winning games. But guess what? You earn these once and you never earn them again. They're done. Once you score 500 goals, you don't ever earn this pack again for the rest of FIFA. Not until next year. FIFA 24, you can earn this pack again. Or EAFC 24. I mean, that part is ridiculous. These need to be repeatable. They have to be. Make it so that you can't do it in beginner squad battles, all right? Make it so you can't do that. I don't care. But every 500 goals in rivals, why am I not getting a pack? Why are you not rewarding your players for just playing the game? That is one of the biggest problems with FIFA. It creates a toxic community. It creates no variety in teams because everyone and their mom is trying to win every game they possibly can. Because that's all that matters. That's all that matters, right? If you go into a division rivals game and lose, you did nothing. And some people's response to that's going to be, why do you need rewards for everything? Listen, I just want to be building towards something. I don't need instant rewards. I don't need 50K packs for every 5 games I play, all right? I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for huge milestones, right? Like 1,000 goals scored, you get this. I just want to be, every game I play, just slowly building towards something, right? The fact that we have none of that past the first 2 weeks of the game every year now since we added the objectives into the game is insane. And if they made it so that rivals and champs, well, champs, I'm fine with being the competitive game mode, right? I'm fine with that. But with rivals, if they made it so that wins wasn't the only way to possibly get any rewards in the entire game mode, then you'd see more variety of squads. You would see more people go and have fun. If you remember the old FIFAs, if you're old enough to remember playing those old FIFA games, do you remember how often you come up against like one nation squads? I remember my squads, I used to have like 5 different squads. I'd have my main team, which was my best team, but I'd have like 4 or 5 different teams that I'd play with because I just had fun playing with them. But guess what those games had? Casual game modes. You could go into the tournament, every 4 games you won, you get a pack. Just something simple. You know what I mean? Just something really, really simple that you could grind. That's another part of this game right now. You can't grind anything. There's nothing casual to grind other than what, squad battles, the friendly objectives. Like you can grind these, I guess. But if you don't really want these cards, you're just screwed. Like there's nothing else. You don't have any other options. Once you get to Elite Division and Division Rivals, or whatever division that you kind of cap at, that's over with. FUT Champs, you can only play on the weekends. And Moments, they already don't really give a shit about. They already don't care about this game mode. They already don't. And it's offline anyway if you're not a big offline guy. When were these rewards last updated? They're going to update these rewards once a season. That's like a month at a time they update these rewards. They're just physically incapable of making anything casual in this game, and I don't understand it. And even friendlies, which is like the most casual game mode, they have game limits on some of them. Like, that is absurd. Look, they still have any out right now with game limits? The Silver Cup, 14 matches remaining. They have game limits on these. Like, that is the most absurd. Imagine playing COD and you could only play 20 games a day of domination and only 10 games a day. 10 games a day. Hold on. 10 games a day of team deathmatch. It's crazy to me. It's actually crazy that there's nothing to grind. There's nothing to grind in this game without grinding the menus. There's no gameplay grindable stuff really in this game. And I think all of it, I don't want to say it's all sinister and it's all on purpose, but I think a lot of that is because they want you to stay on the menus as much as possible, figuring out shit to do, because odds are you get drawn to the store, you see the packs, you're like, oh, I'm bored, what do I do? These promo packs look really tempting, $6. I just don't get why the fun aspect of FIFA is like, they can't create it themselves, we have to create it. I can go into a game of Division Rivals and use that squad, even though I lose, and still have fun myself, but I have to create that fun myself. And I have to just accept me getting destroyed because I'm playing only the top tier meta players because they only reward winning. So that's the biggest problem of this game, is just they only reward winning. Once you play 90 matches of a season milestones, that's it. It's not, okay, every 90 matches that you play in Rivals, you get these. That's still an absurd amount of matches. 90? Most players don't even play 90 in the whole season. So players who do play 90, why not reward them with these packs every 90 games? I don't understand it. Once you reach your game limit, once you reach your win limit on Rivals, no more upgrades to be had. That's it. Your milestone limit, once you reach your milestones of Rivals, that's it. There's no more. They just can't give us anything grindable at all in terms of gameplay. They don't do it. And I'm just frustrated because, you know, I play this game a lot, obviously, and there's times I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do. How is that possible? Like, yeah, I can go play the Silver Cup if I want to, right? I can go play Silver Cup. The rewards are okay, but is that it? Do I have one option if I've played the rest? Why are there not unlimited things I can do? I've qualified for champs. Rivals, I'm in Elite Div. This was me all last year. I qualified for champs. I'm in Elite Div and Rivals. I have my wins rewards. Go and play draft, which isn't worth your time. Draft isn't worth it. So you're fucked. You're stuck. You can't do anything else. The friendlies that they added last year, remember the friendlies with like, okay, you win 3 games, get this pack, win 6 games, get this pack. That's the best thing they've added in so long. But they have the match limits on those too. Why do you have the match limits on those? Let the guys who are bad at the game get those rewards too. If it takes them 100 games to win 10, let them. But instead in this game, they have to make everything as toxic as possible. 5 games a day or 10 games a day or whatever, and you have to win 3 out of 5 to get the best reward. That stuff, it just makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. And that's why people wonder, why is the community so toxic? Why is the community this or that? Because it's so competitive. It's too competitive. competitive. Like, it's seriously too competitive. I'm not saying that because I'm like shit at the game, right? I'm not saying I'm the best player ever, but I finished like 15-5 or better in weekend league every single weekend. I'm tired of playing competitive FIFA. I'm tired of it. We have had 5 years of this, 6 years of it. FIFA 17, right? We've had 6 years of like basically strictly competitive FIFA. Now I take that back. FIFA 17 had a daily knockout tournaments, which was great. So it's like 5 years of just competitive FIFA nonstop. Like, I'm tired of it. Let's get some casual stuff going. Obviously, there's more sweats now than there used to be. People are better at the game than they used to be. But I'm fine with playing guys who are good at the game. Like, I really am fine with that. I don't need to play bums. I don't need to be like, oh, I'm only playing guys that are good and I only want to play bums. I want to play guys who are good, but not have the stakes so high constantly. You know, that's my point. All right, so now I'm done ranting about that. The next thing I'm kind of worried about is the gameplay stuff. Again, this year we have the drop back meta, let alone we have the game modes themselves that like create like the toxic kind of behavior of the gameplay. But then you have auto defending, you have auto drop back. There are things in this game that are better than there were last year. There are certain things in this game that you could not do last year, 100%. And I do appreciate that. What I don't appreciate is the fact they somehow did not help the drop back. The drop back is insane. The auto defending is insane in this game. And we're only going to be getting players that are better and better, right? Like, the promo cards are only going to get more and more overpowered, better and better defending. It's only really going to get harder and harder to score, which is why I'm worried about the Trivela method, because right now Trivelas are broken, right? 100%. Trivelas, as you know, are like how people score half their goals right now. But I'm really worried that we get further into the year. Trivelas are patched in this next patch, right? We're not gonna be able to score goals. Even though one-on-one finishing is better than this year than last year, at times I'm worried that we're just gonna be struggling to score goals again, which I don't want a FIFA where I'm struggling to score goals constantly. We dealt with that last year. PS5 version, the next gen version of FIFA last year was scoring goals was like pulling teeth half the time. You had to shot cancel, isolation, you know, it was like NBA. It was like it was isolation. It was like you tried to get one-on-one and shot cancel the auto defending AI out of the way and then score. I'm worried that it's not gonna happen as fast this year, but maybe toward later in the year, like team of the year-ish time, and later we get those 92, 3, 4, 5 defending guys, that it's gonna be, you better get your shot cancels going, otherwise good luck fucking scoring. That's what I'm worried about. At least they have the power shot in this game, which I'm very glad they added. And they need the power shot, honestly, should be like one of the most effective ways to score. And it kind of is. And I'm glad it's very manual. So that, I'm very glad that they added that in this game this year. I think that is one of the best additions so far. But yeah, I mean, like, I just want more ways to score. And they have done a pretty good job this year. There are a few more ways to score. Like, you can actually finesse shot inside the box and score this year. I do appreciate that a lot. I don't want to just shit on the game, but at the same time, I just want to tell you guys what my frustrations are and where I'm worried that this game might go. Because last year we got to a point where the next gen version of FIFA was like virtually unplayable. I went to play PS4 early in the year. Some people never made that change, and some people just couldn't keep playing the game, and I can't blame them. It was so bad. The next gen version last year was so bad, and I worry that, you know, it's going to get there eventually to the same kind of level. The first patch is going to be very important. I think the first patch this year is going to be really, really important. Like, I shouldn't say the first patch, because we've already had one patch, right? But the first real big giant gameplay patch is going to be huge, I think, this year, because if they don't fix some of this auto drop back, which, well, they never did last year, so I doubt it. But if they don't fix some of the auto defending stuff, the midfield line being in the box, literally, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard to score in this game this year. If you put your controller down, right? If I'm defending and I literally just set my controller on the ground right here, he would have a hard time scoring. The opponent would literally have a hard time scoring. It's insane. It's insane. So the problem, what I'm really worried about is that they've heard feedback that goalkeepers are not very good, and goalkeepers are not very good, and thank God they're not, because if they were good, you wouldn't be scoring right now. I'm worried that, like, worst case scenario happens and that they patch the Trivela shots, which I'm okay with, but combined with patching the goalkeepers and then not fixing any of the defensive AI or defensive line, good luck scoring for a while. But there's obviously like lots of other things too that I don't love about the gameplay, but they're not quite as big of a deal. Like sometimes the passing is a bit meh, and sometimes the lengthy players get these like crazy boosts in terms of like jam kind of. That's one thing, but I'm worried that this first patch is really going to make or break some of this gameplay this year. I'm worried that the defensive line getting patched or not patched, which it never did last year, is going to kind of make or break the gameplay until it gets patched. You know, if it never comes, then the gameplay this year is going to be infinitely not as good as it could be. And the gameplay this year, in my opinion, has the potential to be one of the best yet. But there's just a couple things that need to be fixed, but there's such glaring problems. You know what I mean? that it makes such a big difference. And if they made this game have like normal defensive depth, I think that would instantly help things. Fix on Trivela shots and have people with normal depth. This FIFA game would already be better than like the last 3. And I just know for a fact, because EA need to cater to people who aren't quite as good, they are going to not change the defensive line, and it sucks. But yeah, there's just nothing much we can do other than hope that they fix it. That's all you can do, and give the feedback, let them know what you guys think, and let me know what you guys think, because I want to know if you guys feel the same way. Do you guys feel differently? Is this your favorite FIFA ever? Is this your worst FIFA ever? You know, let me know what you guys think down below. I really want to hear what you guys have to say about the gameplay itself, right? Do you guys like it? I feel like it's very polarizing this year. Some people really like it, some people don't like it. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoy, leave a like, subscribe if you are new around here, because we make content like this every single day on the channel. I love all of you. Catch you guys in the next video very, very soon. Peace!